Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and this is a Shakti flow, a short sequence in which we will move quite continuously to emulate the ocean waves, the continual ebb and flow of cosmic energy. So, Shakti is mother energy, cosmic energy, the ever moving dynamic force within the universe, as opposed to Shiva, more masculine and fatherly force in the universe, which is the consciousness. I could say one is the observer, one is the mover, seen and the seeing. And there's quite a lot of Kundalini activation talk going around in the yoga world, in the esoteric world. And as far as I know, like any strong woman, Shakti doesn't like to be told what to do. However, we can emulate her. We can attract like by being like, and slowly get a sense of understanding how she moves within us, subtle energy, everything is Shakti. And there are two ways to notice or realize something that already is. And which is one way is to amplify the energy so it becomes more obvious. And the other way is to become more sensitive to that which already is. Like if there's a very small sound that you can barely hear, you can either make the sound louder or you can tune into the sound or make your hearing better. So those are two ways in which we can start to get in touch with Shakti a little bit more. And today we're sort of trying to do both. We're trying to amplify by moving in a sinuous, undulating, continuous way with the breath. Very important to get the pattern of movement, prana and apana, which are constantly moving in flux. Prana being the life force that we're taking in, and apana being the wind or the life force that we're moving back out of our body. So with the inhale and the exhale. Good. So that's kind of the theory, but the practice is going to be quite simple, close to the ground, feminine, snaky. Yeah, and so let's get started in child's pose. I have two blocks because later when I step through or step forward, I don't want to interrupt the flow of my movement. So I'm going to lengthen my arms by using the blocks so I can step forward with my foot more continuously. But at first, we're not going to need them. If you need any other props, blanket underneath the knee, feel free to set that up. And as always in child's pose, your knees can be closer together or wider apart, your preference. I'm going to bring them closer together today. I'm going to take my time to get into child's pose, press my hands into the floor to widen through my lower back a little bit by wiggling. And then once I'm ready, I'm going to release my head. Today I'm actually going to bring my arms alongside my body. If you prefer a different arm position, go for it. And the reason I place my knees a little bit closer together is so that I like the feedback through the thighs. As my belly rises when I inhale and falls when I exhale. Good. And as we breathe here, we can really notice the sense of expansion through the back as we breathe in. The sense of contraction through the breath as we exhale. Just a few times here to tune into the breath. If you're aware of Ujjayi breath, you can start to sound the breath. So it does sound like the ocean. Another image that we have in Hinduism is that we're born out of the ocean of milk. So this constant churning of the ocean of milk through which we are born that we can emulate by inhaling, making an ocean sounding breath and exhaling. Good. If there's an intention you like to set today, you can do that. Wonderful.
Good, and then you can start to bring your hands forward, as far forward as possible. Make your arms nice and long. And then we're going to emphasize what we've already been doing, which is to expand with your inhale. And soften or contract with your exhale. And as I do this, I'm going to inhale around my spine, maybe coming a little bit further forward. And with the exhale, I'm going to up back. Continue to slowly grow the movements. Inhale. Widen my knees a little bit so that they're underneath my hips. Inhale is going to shift the weight forward. Exhale is going to shift the hips back. And maybe quite automatically, I'm rounding my back as I inhale. And as I exhale, I'm tilting my tailbone back, arching my back slightly as I move back into an active child's pose. Inhale, rounding. Shifting the weight forward. Exhale, back. Tailbone tilting up and back. Good. A few more. Inhale. And as I exhale, arching, and the ripple through the spine is reaching now my head, so I'm looking forward when I exhale. Inhale, rounding the back, coming into an angry cat. And as I exhale, as I move through cow belly back into child's pose. Good. You can stay here or increase the movement so much that as you exhale, you're landing in a cobra, and from there back towards the child's pose. A few more. Inhale, rounding, coming forward. Exhale, dropping the hips as much as you want to before you moving the hips up and back to child. Good. In this cobra, your pubic bone doesn't have to touch the floor. Maybe it's like a hybrid between an upward facing dog and a cobra. Last round, we're just going to stay in our back bend just for a moment. Inhale. And I'm going to exhale here. Good. Inhale, stretch the shape. Exhale to soften. And although I'm quite still through my body, the sense of inhale, expansion, then exhale, softening and contraction continue to happen. Last one, inhale. And as I exhale back into child, and we're going to stay there for just a moment. Lengthening. Noticing. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to come back onto all fours, rounding the spine. And this time, exhale, tucking the toes under, lifting the hips up and back to a downward facing dog. Good. We're going to continue to wave here. Inhale, forward to plank. And again, if this is too strong, you can lower the knees. Exhale. Still same movement pattern now with a little bit more strength now that we're on hands and feet as opposed to hands and knees. Forwards and backwards like the ocean waves. Inhale forward, allowing the breath to move us forward. Exhale, softly bending the knees. My tailbone tilts up. I look forward as I move back. Last two, inhale. Feeling the breath above all. Exhale back to downward facing dog, and from there, inhale, we're going to come forward to plank. And this time, exhale, lowering knees, chest, and chin. So we're going to slide forward into cobra, maybe a little bit different than you used to. I'm going to inhale, untuck my toes. I'm going to undulate my spine. So as I inhale, I'm going to turn the tailbone down. And then slowly open up into a little cobra. And then as I exhale, press my hands into the floor. Tailbone guides me back. From here, we're going to stay on all fours. Inhale forward. Repeat this pattern. Exhale, arching the back, chest and chin. Inhale from my pubic bone, rounding, undulating the spine forward like an inchworm. Exhale from the tailbone back to downward facing dog. Maybe 2 more times. If this is too strong for you, this undulating movement, you can of course slide through into cobra however you like. Otherwise, maybe playing around with from the tailbone, rounding the spine, gliding through into cobra. Exhale back, leading with the tailbone. Inhale again, rounding the spine, heart shoots forward. Exhale, allowing the chest and the chin to land. Inhale from the tailbone, pressing through the hands to open the heart, moving the shoulder blades back. And exhale this time back into your downward facing dog. I'm going to move forward on my mat a little bit. Good. Continue to move here. Inhale, lifting one leg up, right leg. And as I exhale, I'm going to ground both feet. I'm going to bend my knees here to stay soft. Inhale, lifting the left leg. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, lifting the right leg. And if you want to bend your knees as you come down to move more smoothly, you can do that. Inhale, like you're yawning. And exhale. If you like to do this on hands and knees, you can do the same thing. You can come into bird dog, one side, and out. Last 2, inhale. Last round, starting on the right side, inhale. Exhale. Still expansion on inhale. Contraction on exhale. Last one. I'm going to come onto hands and knees for a moment to get the blocks. So like I said, I'm going to use them so I can step forward nicely or smoothly. With my proportions and the way that I'm warmed up right now, I'm going to need the second height to step forward smoothly. See what you need. You might have different blocks at home. So on my next inhale, I'm going to lift my right leg up. And exhale, step the right foot through smoothly if possible. I'm going to ground my back knee. Inhale, rise. And exhale to fold. I'm just going to circle my arms here. Inhale as the spine rises. And exhale, going with gravity. A few more times. Inhale. Gently pulling the right heel back, left knee forward. 2 more. Last one. Inhale to expand, opening through the heart. And exhale, going with gravity, grounding the hands. I'm going to inhale, tuck the toes under, look forward, and exhale back to downward facing dog. Other side. Inhale, lifting the left leg up. Exhale, stepping the left foot all the way through. Grounding the right knee. Inhale to rise. And exhale, just a big circle through the heart. If you want to cactus your arms, you can do that. Inhale, rise. Exhale. Doesn't have to be perfectly aligned. Inhale. Exhale, letting the breath move, opening through the front of the heart. Last 2, inhale. Exhale. Feeling the resisting gravity as you inhale. Going with gravity as you exhale. Grounding the hands onto your blocks or onto floor. Inhale, lifting the back knee. Puffing up the back of the heart. And exhale, gently stepping back to downward facing dog. Good. One more. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. Exhale, stepping the right foot all the way through. Grounding the back knee. Inhale, lift heart. And exhale this time, pushing the hips back to come into half splits. You can go at your own pace. You can undulate the spine here. Inhale. And as you exhale, leading with the sits bones back. You might have to lift your blocks up, or maybe you don't need any. See what you need to move between these 2 poses. Inhale to open the heart. Exhale to move back, half splits. Inhale forward, undulating the spine from the base up. Exhale, folding, tilting the hip sits bones back, rounding the spine. 2 more. And exhale. If you want to flex your front foot, go for it. Inhale, lift the heart. Tuck the toes under. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Right away, lifting the left leg up. And exhale to step it all the way through. Low lunge, grounding the right knee. Inhale to lift the heart. I like to untuck my toes. You can keep them tucked. Exhale, moving the hip back, bowing down. Inhale, rounding the spine, lifting that from the bottom. I'm even coming onto my fingertips on blocks. Exhale back. A few more. Inhale. Getting a sense that your breath is unfurling the spine. Moving like a snake. Our anatomy is really different from a snake. Undulating the spine one after another. Continuous rippling motion. Last one. Inhale. Yeah. Coming forward. Tucking the toes under. Lifting the right knee in. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Good. Stay in downward facing dog for just a moment. To notice. Maybe there's a little wave happening just through the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath here, letting the head hang. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, let's go through one more flow. Inhale, lifting the right leg up. Exhale this time, pigeon pose, bringing the right shin forward. Good. Inhale, you can step your left knee back to lift the heart. And as you exhale, let's just allow the spine to fold a few rounds here. If you need to place something underneath your right hip, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just keep the right hip floating. The hands on blocks, you might feel quite stable. Inhale, rounding the spine from the bottom up. Exhale, folding, leading with the heart. 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. Next time, a little bit different. Inhale, let's rise. And as I fold, I'm going to pivot on my left knee to bend the toes back, opening the hip up to the side. I'm going to circle the right arm around and up to come into a side bend. Exhale, back down to a pigeon pose. Inhale, repeating unfurling of the spine in pigeon. And this time pivoting over. Inhale, opening the right side of the body. Variation of deer pose here. Inhale, lifting the spine. Exhale, coming onto your right bum, pivoting on the left knee. Inhale, opening up through the whole right side of the body. Exhale, coming back to center. Last round. Inhale to move the spine. Exhale, fold, shift weight onto your right bum, pivot on your left knee. Inhale, leaning back and open. Exhale, coming forward. Last round, inhale here in the center. And as you exhale, tuck the toes under, press back to downward facing dog. Just 2 breaths here. Soaking up the stillness. On your next inhale, lifting the left leg up to prepare. Exhale, sliding your left shin through. Same sequence on the second side. Inhale, moving the hip, right knee back as you lift the heart. Exhale to fold. You want to untuck the right toes, you can do that. Inhale, rise. Moving meditation, moving with the breath. Really feeling that the breath is like a pump and it's moving the spine. Last two, inhale. And exhale. Good, let's inhale, lift. As you exhale, shifting more onto your left hip, pivoting on your right knees this time. Inhale, opening, leaning back through the left side. Exhale, shifting forward. Let's move the spine. Inhale, rise. And as you exhale, fold, shift the weight onto the left hip, bending the right knee, leaning back. Inhale. Exhale, coming forward. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold, pivot on the right knee, lean back and open the whole left side, maybe even arching back a little. Exhale through the semicircle, coming back. Last two, inhale. Exhale, shift the position. Inhale again, expansion. Exhale to soften. Last round, inhale. And exhale. Inhale to open. Exhale, coming back to center. Let's wave the spine one more time here. Inhale. And as you exhale, tuck the right toes under, press back to downward facing dog. Make yourself nice and long here. And then let's inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale to drop your knees. Inhale, you can cross the legs behind you. I'm going to move the blocks aside and come all the way onto my back as I exhale. Good. Once you're all the way back, we'll move through bridge pose. Maybe a little bit different than you're used to. So quite often we inhale, lift the hips, and exhale to lower. Good. We're going to do the other way. So inhale, prana pattern. We're going to lift the heart, press the hips back. Arms can be, I'm just exaggerating through the arms. And as you exhale, you can press your belly button down. Good. Inhale again, lifting the heart, maybe a little bit of an arch through the upper back. Exhale, it can start to undulate from the top down to press the lower back down. Maybe press down so much that the hips lift. Inhale, lifting the heart again. Exhale, pressing the lower back down. Maybe the hips lift. So once you get the seesawing here, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, press the lower back down. Maybe hips lift. Good. Few rounds at your own pace. Inhale to lift the heart. You can press the shoulder blades down a little bit. And exhale, winding down. Maybe hips lift. Good. Inhale to lift the heart. Really allowing the breath to do most of the work. Okay. Next time your hips are up, you can stay there for a moment. Like to leave the arms out on the side, you can do that. If you want to interlace the hands behind the back for a moment, go for it. Okay. Becoming still and still, allowing this breathing pattern. Inhale, heart expands. Exhale, sense of your tailbone lengthening forward. Two more. Inhale. Feeling the heart expand. Exhale, almost like you're pressing your lower back again towards the floor. Fronds of the hips open. Last one, inhale. And exhale this time. You can release the arms, come all the way down. Good. If there's one last posture you need to go into before you lie all the way down, you can do that. But I suggest you keep it minimal so that you can marinate in these movements that we just created. Now all that's left is the subtle pattern of the waving and the undulating. And just noticing the tingling in the fingers, the toes. You might feel a bit seasick, almost like you were on the ocean. And although our body's not on the boats anymore, the body might still be moving in this pattern of rising and falling, expansion and contraction, sense of up and down as you lie still here. The yogis say when this up and down pattern, apana and prana, or prana and apana, start to come together underneath our belly button, in the area of our Taoists call it the lower dantian, the Celts called it the lower cauldron, and we start to create inner heat, spiritual heat, which then lures Kundalini Shakti, that's coiled at the base of the spine, to slowly rise, clearing obstacles, blockages in our energy system. I invite you to stay here for a few more minutes. Staying aware. While staying wide open in your awareness, in your inner Shiva consciousness, so that your inner Shakti can dance freely. As you rest in Shavasana.